Hey, what is up you guys? It's Armando Torres here again, back with another video, this time on an unboxing of a watch that I've actually been looking for quite a long time. I had been doing my research on this watch and kind of finding out if it is something that I wanted to pick up, and I definitely been thinking about this piece for a while. So I picked this watch up at jomashop.com, which it's supposed to be a pretty reputable gray market dealer. And they have some really great pieces at some pretty decent prices, really good prices for this particular piece. So I did get the Orient Kamasu, which on the Joma Shop website is actually listed under Orient Mako 3 automatic black dial men's watch. I did get the black dial version, so we're gonna go ahead and check the packaging here and make sure that everything is in order. They are based out of Brooklyn, New York, so that's interesting. I do have my handy dandy Clorox wipes just to disinfect the watch every time it travels, the box, everything. Definitely want to be safe. So let me go ahead and do a quick wristwatch check. So there is my Charles Hutton on wrist. It is a 43mm case. It's got the GMT, and I find myself wearing this watch surprisingly a lot. And I say surprisingly because I certainly didn't expect to be wearing this watch as much as I have been. But it's a nice piece. What can I say? Some of their pieces are definitely worth a look. And I've been wearing this watch surprisingly a lot. I think it fits my 6.5-inch wrist pretty well. And yeah, I've been wearing this a lot during quarantine. And certainly I've been getting a lot of pieces during this quarantine. I gotta be honest, guys, I've been on a little bit of a dive watch binge. Kind of literally diving off the deep end and trying to find the best dive watch for, a reasonable price. Now this watch I actually picked up on Joma Shop for, it's listed for $209. I actually used the Honey app and got an additional $10 off, so I got this and free shipping. So I literally got this at just under $200 at $199. And again, it's my first time using this dealer. It's my first time using Joma Shop, so my first experience with them. I hope everything is in order. We'll go ahead and check that out now. So let me go ahead and get to the unboxing. There we go. Comes nicely wrapped in this brown paper. Let's take a look what else we get inside. Joma Shop product catalog. That's interesting. I wasn't expecting a catalog, but it'd be nice to take a look inside, kind of see what we can get. We got some Dior watches, some Rolex watches. So things like this really improve the legitimacy of Joma Shop as a shop, but it's definitely known for its watch pieces, even some higher end pieces. You saw some Hublots, some IWC, Vacheron Constantine, however you say it, Bell & Ross, Zenith, Orient, actually unboxing an Orient today, G-Shock, some fashion watches as well, Fossil, but of course some APs, Longines, Hublot, Breguet, they definitely have a bunch, Tissot, Oris, so they definitely have higher end pieces as well, Frederic Constant, and Hamilton. It's definitely proving its legitimacy a little bit with things like this. They have a catalog you can order. Warranty card, they do have a 1-year warranty, I believe. Yeah, so I'm on the website here, and it is a 1-year warranty. You actually have to activate it, so I'll be sure to do that within the allotted amount of days. Receipt for $199, so just under $200, like I said, guys, and we get a pretty surprising amount of watch for the $200. So I've been looking at dive watches, like I said, guys. Every time I look up dive watches and I see kind of what's the best bang for your buck, and coming from a reputable brand, Seiko always comes up, and I've been looking at Seikos. For whatever reason, every time I'm about to go for a Seiko, I end up looking at something else that is better for the money. So under $200, you get a watch that has 200 meters of water resistance, sapphire crystal, in-house hacking and hand winding movement. There we go, move that to the side. Among other things as well, on a very nice looking dial, date complication as well. So let's go ahead and open this box up, take a look. It does come with the, came in backwards, everything came in backwards. But Orient mechanical watch, automatic and hand winding mechanism. So instruction manual there. Put that to the side. And here it is, guys. Let's go ahead and get to the opening of this box. It's a nice shiny box on top, and then the rest is kind of this soft sort of rubbery cardboard material. So let's go ahead and open this guy up. Ooh, little, oh no, I guess it was supposed to come in like that. Wow. That does not look how I thought it would look. I'll say that. Looks so interesting. Alright, so let's go ahead and take it all out of the box. Got a nice presentation. This looks so different and interesting. But really legible hands, guys. You could see it right there. This looks totally different than I thought it would. And it's not a bad thing. It looks really, really nice. Shiny. Got a nice framed day and date right there. Really nice second hand ticking away there. Overall, really nice looking dive watch. I'm really surprised with how this looks. Sapphire crystal branded right there. Oyster style bracelet, which I think looks great. Feels pretty good too. We'll take a look and see how it wears in a little bit. Plastic as well throughout. You got the tag right there. Really nice looking tab. This is the model number, Orient stamped right there on the folded pressed clasp. Now it is a pressed clasp, which, you know, some people will, you know, it's always weird with pressed clasp. This is a pressed clasp. It's a very similar, actually, very similar style clasp. And yeah, this has the closed case back. Let me go ahead and it's got the double pushers right there. It's got wrapping right there. But yeah, let me go ahead and take some of this stuff off, and we'll get a closer look. Ah, there you go. I was a little worried that it actually didn't come with plastic on the clasp, but it most certainly did, and the finishing is actually spectacular. So let's go ahead and do that. It's pretty great finishing on the clasp there. Let's get the underside. There we go. Take off the sapphire crystal memo. Take this off as well. It's a really nice bracelet. I actually really like how that looks. It's all brushed. Really nice style. Polished on the outer edges, but brushed everywhere else. Now with most of the plastic off, it's time for a good little Clorox wipe polishing. And I hope it stays disinfected throughout everything ever. There we go. Really nice piece, guys. A really nice piece indeed, guys. This thing looks even nicer using my Sony Alpha 6.8 for this footage, and that's a brand new camera that I just got, guys, and that's something that you can expect in the future setup of these videos, which I am just figuring out now, but everything past my next video will be incorporating this camera. And I say everything past my next video because my next video, which I'm super excited for you guys to see, is pretty much already shot using an iPhone, and I can't wait for you guys to see that, so make sure to subscribe. But at least in this video, you can see the Orient Kamasu in high definition, and it looks great, guys. That's one thing that this watch definitely has going for it. It's such a nice watch. So nice, in fact, that I've been wearing this as kind of my everyday beater. And I took this to work one day, and a customer actually asked me if it was a Rolex. And I had to say, no, it is not a Rolex, but it is still a very nice watch. And it is a very nice watch, guys. It's very elegant. You could definitely dress this watch up with that very fancy Orient logo, automatic, written in cursive underneath that at the 12 o'clock. Also in cursive, water resist just above the 6 o'clock and on top of the 20 bar notification as well, saying that this is 200 meters of water resistance. So a really, really attractive watch. And it's not a very busy dial. It's not a cluttered dial. It's very beautiful. And at the same time, it's a very tooly watch, guys. It's very, very, it looks tooly with the kind of metal and the rotating bezel and everything. The red second hand also kind of gives it a tooly look. And the fact that it's a date, complication at the 3 o'clock, screw down crown, closed case back, and that sapphire crystal as well. So I actually want to test the sapphire crystal because this is a watch from Jomo Shop, and I just want to make sure that everything is in order. This setup, you can pretty much give all the credit to Jody at Just One More Watch, and hopefully this is considered an homage, I don't know. But this is my Casio Doro. I'm showing off here that I replaced the silicone band with a very cheap oyster style bracelet that I got from eBay, but I think that enhances the look quite a bit. If you saw there between the 10 and the 11, this is scratched. That's why it's my mineral crystal test, and as you can see, not a single blip from my diamond selector too, so I'll put that down. Completely different story from my main Hudson, which is a very high quality Swiss made watch, and clearly, as you will see, I have a certain style with these watches, black dive watches with a little bit of red, and definitely a box dome sapphire crystal right there. 3 orange bars from this thing. Love this thing, one of my best watches. And here's the Orient Kamasu, the watch in question. Also a very attractive watch. Like I said, I just got this watch from Jomo Shop, so I just wanted to make sure that it had sapphire crystal, and indeed it does. Got into the 3s, but 2 orange bars is fine as well. Definitely sapphire crystal then. So very happy that this watch actually has sapphire crystal as labeled on the website. And yeah, I want to start getting into talking about watches, and I've been thinking about making a podcast. If that's something that you guys would be interested in, definitely let me know in the comment section down below. So for under $200, guys, you are getting not only a great set of specs, including that sapphire crystal, but a great set of dimensions that's going to fit a variety of different wrist sizes. We'll take a look at some of those dimensions now. So case is just under 42 millimeters, and you could definitely tell on wrist. Compact lug to lug as well at 46.5. 13.5 millimeters thick, so it is quite a chunky piece. 22 millimeter lugs, which tapered down to 20 millimeters, then back up to 22 millimeters at the clasp. Great set of dimensions on this watch, but let's go ahead and see how it looks like on wrist. So this is what the watch looks like on wrist, guys. When I was saying you get great dimensions, I was not kidding. You get great dimensions from this thing. So I have a 6.5-inch wrist for reference, and it sits nicely on top of my wrist with just a little bit of space left over. And this thing is really great, guys. I mean, it's super legible. There are very few things that I don't like about this watch. In fact, I believe there are only 2 things I don't like about this watch. One of which is there seems to be a tiny bit of misalignment going on between the bezel and the actual dial. Now, it's not enough for it to be noticeable and to kind of be upset with the design, but it is enough to trigger my OCD where I feel like one twist back of the bezel is too back, and then if I click it where it should be, then I feel like it's too forward. Here it doesn't look too bad, but sometimes it, like I said, it can trigger my OCD just a little bit. The other thing that I don't like about this watch is the crown. The crown actually is really, really hard to twist and screw down in place. It did get a little bit easier with time, but it was still super hard out of the box, and it actually led to me, my finger actually got like skin came off of my finger because of how I was screwing down the crown, which shouldn't be a case, especially if you're a dive watch. Like your crown should screw in relatively easily. But other than those two things, like I said, it did get a little bit easier over time, and I've kind of learned how to be with this watch. But yeah, I mean, overall, it fits really, really great on wrist. It's not a big watch. Like, it's one of the smallest 42, quote unquote, 42 millimeter watches that I own. I own watches that are 42 millimeter that are way bigger than this, and I think a lot of that also has to do with the compact lug to lug size. But I love this thing, guys, through and through. It's a great watch. It's a great value for under $200, and I would much rather pick up this watch over pretty much any of the Seiko 5 models. The only reason to get a Seiko 5 model is because you like how it looks and it speaks to you. For me, the Seiko lineup doesn't really speak to me as much as, for example, something like this does. It doesn't warrant getting a Seiko 5 over something like this in my mind, because one, this watch is just as attractive, if not more so, and you get more for it. You get 100 extra meters of water resistance, you get sapphire instead of hard licks, and you get hacking and hand winding, which the new lineup does. But if, for example, you wanted to get like an SKS 007, you don't get hacking and hand winding. So really doesn't make sense to me to get one of those over something like this, but that's just my opinion. I am still on the lookout for a decent Seiko watch. I have my Seiko chronograph, but not anything automatic or anything that really calls out to me. I mean, I kind of like some of their SARB stuff, but that's pretty expensive, and more of a dress watch. I have seen one kind of interesting watch that I don't see very many people talking about, but I think it's a great little watch. I'll mention that, I'm sure, in a future video. But yeah, like I said, I'm thinking about creating a platform for people to talk about watches, and for me to talk about watches, things that I like, things that I don't like, and it could be really, really fun. So if that's something that you guys are interested in, let me know. But let me bring it back to the Orient. What are your guys' thoughts on the Orient Kamasu? Um, I am also going to show a loom video really quickly. The loom video was shot pretty much on my iPhone, so my iPhone is pretty much going to be what shows you the loom. Sorry about that, but it's pretty great loom either way. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Orient Kamasu, guys. What are your guys' thoughts and opinions on this watch? Let me know in the comment section down below. And yeah, I do have two videos coming out pretty soon that are going to be really, really cool, and working on a third one to release soon as well. So keep an eye out. I can say I pretty much got one of my Grail watches recently, so keep an eye out for that. That's the next video. And yeah, until next time, guys, follow me on Instagram at Mondo the Watch Guy. I post on there occasionally, trying to do more so, but yeah, definitely give me a follow on there. And until next time, guys, I will see you later.